welcome back to the last part of our Ultimate Decades Challenge for the year 1379. This is part D, and we are here with Katia Eldridge. She is just in labor. She's currently feeling pretty sad because she is still mourning the loss of her last birth that unfortunately resulted in a stillborn baby. We are just going to go ahead and let her go ahead and have her baby that she is currently in labor with. But as you can see, she is just feeling really sad currently right now. We also have to go ahead and let her go into labor because we need to have the baby that she is currently in labor with. So we are going to go ahead and let her give birth to this little one. We are hoping that this baby does survive. We are hoping for an heir for this family. The last baby that they gave birth to was a little girl. So we are hoping this one is a boy. And it is a boy. So we are going to go ahead and open up the wheel for our male baby names, and we're going to give that a spin. So let's go ahead and go over to that, and we will give that a spin and see what we're going to name this little one. So we are going to name this little baby Edwin Eldridge. And it is a single birth. We are just going to go ahead and we're going to roll the dice for Mom and Edwin, and we're going to find out if they are going to be able to survive their childbirth here. We know that Mom can't roll a 1, so let's go ahead and roll for Mom. Mom is going to roll a 6 and survive. Baby needs an odd 8, 10, or 20. And baby rolls a 7 and survives. So I am just going to go ahead and update that on the timeline and put here that Katia has had Edwin Eldridge, and then we will age up little Edwin and give him his makeover and get his photo for the family tree. So we are in October of 1379, which is when Edwin Eldridge was born. He is of British descent, and I have updated the information tab. We are just going to put that Edwin has been born here on the timeline. And let's go ahead and age him up and get his makeover and photo for the family tree.
Oh, it's a dib. Me, Borv. Nerf.
So I'm absolutely loving that we finally have an heir for this family. I am absolutely loving that we have a baby that has survived in this family. We definitely needed that because she did lose her last baby. So as we can see, Katia is very happy. They do have a couple more baby tries that they have on their belt here, under their belt, that they are able to try for. Because I do believe they rolled for having 4 children. So we have a couple more baby tries with these two. Edwin is going to be a Leo, which is fantastic. And let's go ahead, and once he ages up here, we're going to just hop into Cass really quickly, give him his makeover, and get his photo for the family tree. So as you can see, Edwin is an intense infant, and let's go ahead with the makeover. Okay, so there is little Edwin Eldridge. We're just going to get his photo for the family tree. And let's go ahead and jump back into the game. We are going to hop back in with our main household and continue on and see how they're doing. So let's go ahead and jump in with them. Okay, so we have arrived back here in the main household. We are just going to check on everyone's needs and see how they're doing. It does look like Florence could stand for a little bit of a feed. So I am going to just get Diana to come in and give Florence a little bit of a bottle feed here and just take care of her a little bit. So we will go ahead and have her do that. Everyone is a little bit terrified, it looks like, and so that's not necessarily a good thing. I'm not sure what they're terrified of. It looks like Diana's terrified because the trees have eyes. Eek, what was that? Crunch, eek, growl. Diana isn't alone. So she's a little bit terrified from that. The horse also is terrified. Florence is feeling a little bit playful, so we love that. But we are just going to make sure everyone's in a good place. It looks like we have Roger in here just playing a little bit of chess, but I'm going to have him come out and tend to cleaning the shed and making sure everything is good with the animals. He needs to clean the coop, and we'll probably get him to bottle feed the horse while Diana is taking care of the little ones, which is fantastic. We'll probably go ahead and just have her talk to Edith a little bit as well. And as we know, Diana is expecting a little one, and so we know that she is pregnant, which is fantastic. It's not actually showing me that moodlet for her, but she is expecting, so we love that. Why are you taking the little one outside?
Fayab? So.
Go put Florence in the crib, because I don't want you carrying her outside and leaving her on the beach again. That's just not going to be okay. It's really not. There we go. All right, why don't you go ahead and cuddle Edith a little bit and do a little bit of chatting with her. And you can give her a little bit of a breastfeed. It is about 3:37 in the morning. Like I said, we're in October of 1379. We're just on the last portion of 1379 here. And once this portion of 1379 is over, we will be getting all the new photos for the families and creating a new banner. So that's going to be really exciting to see how our family has changed over the last decade. Or our families, I suppose I should say, have changed over the last decade, and how our community has grown and changed. And so we'll be creating ourselves a new banner, and we will be seeing that change. And so that's really, really exciting. I am just going to, after he is done dealing with the animals, have him go and have himself a little bit of rest. Diana is going to go to the washroom, and then she's going to get herself a little bit of rest. The little ones seem to be in pretty decent shape, which is fantastic. We love that. I don't know why you're carrying the little ones around all over the house. It's because she's terrified. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She is feeling a little bit out of sorts right now. Diana is, just from where she went out foraging, and she got a little bit scared there in the forest. And so now she's just not really using her head. I think you should probably go to the washroom before you go to bed, before you pee yourself, Diana. And it looks like Alba Meshroom has finally gone into labor, so we are going to go and head over to see Alba Meshroom and let her have her baby. So let's do that now. Okay, we have arrived here with Alba Meshroom. As you can see, she is in labor. She needs to go ahead and have this little one. As we know, she went ahead and she seduced Benedict Goodwell, and she got him to woohoo with her, and they then had a pregnancy result from that, and now she is an unwed mother. And obviously she can't get married, but now she is going to be a single mom. She's going to be raising this baby out of wedlock, and it's going to be the scandal of the season. But we, there's really nothing we can do about that. She is a vampire. She's immortal. She didn't necessarily want to spend her life in eternity alone, so she did go ahead and she turned Benedict so that he would be a vampire with her for eternity, because she was like, I don't necessarily want him to die. I don't want him to, you know, be with anyone really else. And so that is that. But yeah. So we are just going to let her go ahead and have this baby and find out what they're having. They are having a girl. So we are going to go ahead and open up the female wheel and see what it is that we are going to name this little one. So let's go ahead and open that up and find out what we're going to be naming this baby. So let's give that wheel a spin. Alright, so we are going to name this baby Beatrice Mushroom. I'm going to actually hyphenate the name and do Goodwill. Oh, I can't. Okay, let's just do Mushroom then. Alright, and it is a single birth, and let's go ahead and roll for mom and baby and see if they are going to make it. As we know, mom can't roll a 1, and baby needs an odd 8, 10, or 20. So mom was going to roll and get, oh my gosh, a 1. Alright, so we are going to have to see if mom's going to make it or not. We'll have to get her brother to plead for her. And baby rolls and gets a 13 and survives. So I'm going to update everything on the timeline here. We will age up the baby and do a makeover and get the photo for the family tree. And we will have Archibald plead for Alba here. So let me go ahead and update everything on the timeline, and then we will carry on with moving through this age up process. All right, we are in October of 1379. This baby is alive, and this baby is of British descent. We are a single birth. And on our timeline, we'll go ahead and put that Beatrice Mushroom was born. And Beatrice will age up here. Okay, perfect. And let's go ahead and age up the baby first, and then we will take care of mom.
Oh, a cleaver's apple, a berry. Wapina. Kapuna. Walks win. Froom. Huh. Oh. Amudio. Rivuda. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, Hasbaga. Oh, Hasbaga. Oh, Mifwa.
All right, so Alba is unfortunately passing away. We are just going to have him come up and witness the death, and he is going to plead for her and see if he can get the Grimm to let her live. He's like, please, please let my sister live. And what does the Grimm say? Archibald has been doing good things lately. He isn't a goody two-shoes or anything, but he can be. Embrace the change of him being good. Sure. Alba Meshram is truly gone after Archibald's ardent appeal fell on Death's deaf ears. Okay, so Alba is truly gone. Unfortunately, we have a baby now without a mother, which is very unfortunate. So now it looks like Archibald is going to be raising this little one because his sister is gone. Oh my gosh, that is unfortunate news. So for Alba, she was born, let me figure that out. Let me see when she was born. So Alba Meshram was born in 1347. So let's go ahead and engrave this as 1347 to 1379. And we are going to go ahead and have Archibald travel to the cemetery and place her tombstone down. It's not very often that the vampires go into Hemford-on-Bagley, into England here, but this is the family cemetery, so that is where we're going to take him to put the plot down. And we will obviously put her to rest, and then we will head him back home. And then we're going to go and give Beatrice her makeover and get her photo for the family tree. Hopefully he doesn't die. He's very, very sad over the loss of his sister. Says the death of a loved one affects Sims very deeply. You know, I really hate that for him. Okay, now that we are back, we are going to head in to Cass, and we're going to give Beatrice her makeover and get her photo for the family tree. All right, here is Beatrice Meshram. She is a vampire and she is a calm infant. Let's go ahead and get her photo for the family tree. She's so pretty. Look at those eyes. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's go ahead and jump back into the game, and we will go and check on our main household again. All right, we have arrived back in the main household, and we are just going to make sure everyone's needs are doing well. It looks like Roger's good, Diana is good, and Edith and Florence are also doing pretty well. I am, as you can see, Roger is just playing a little bit of chess. Okay, you need to go to the washroom again? Why don't you just go to the washroom then? All right, perfect. So everyone is doing pretty good. It is raining, so it is just really not the best day outside here. But obviously we are going to need to make sure everyone is doing pretty good as far as their needs go. All right, so things are looking okay. I am going to get you to come over and call over the cow. We definitely need to make sure that we have fed the cow and milked the cow and cleaned the cow. So I am going to get Roger to come out and take care of the cow. It is raining. It's, you know, an unfortunate event that it's raining, and, you know, it is what it is. But these things have to be taken care of, whether it's raining or not. The animals do have to be fed and cared for. So we are just going to call the animal out and go ahead and clean the cow and feed the cow and milk the cow. And Diana, why don't you come out and clean up this manure, and, you know, we'll make sure that the farm is kind of tidy here. And then you can put away these mushrooms that are kind of growing. So we love that. All right, I don't want to sell the crops. I want her to use the fertilizer. And I guess she can't, so that sucks. All right, so I am just going to go ahead and get him to do a little bit of harvesting of the nearby plants. She's going to go in and take care of some of her needs here, which is fantastic. We love that for her. Let's go ahead and check and see if the horse bed needs to be cleaned. It does, so I'm going to have her do that. So she's cleaning up the manure, and she's going to do the cleaning of the horse bed. We love that. And Roger is just doing a little bit of foraging and harvesting of the plants around the area, which is fantastic. So we love that. There aren't any birthdays in this part other than the actual like people that are having babies. So there isn't anything that they need to actually, we don't need to actually do other than like whenever someone actually goes into labor. So there's no birthdays that we're celebrating or anything like that, birthday rolls. And Lady Whistledown says, "Alas, dear reader, I am bored as of late. The season stumbles along and whisperings of the tongue have all but been silenced. Gossip these days is in short supply. In fact, this author can think of no event that even merits a mention. Yours truly, Lady Whistledown." You know, I was kind of hoping that we were going to have a little bit of gossip with Alda, but unfortunately that didn't take place because she had that baby out of wedlock, but then she passed away from childbirth. So now there is no gossip to be had because, well, you don't want to gossip about the dearly departed, and that's just not ideal. So yeah, it's just not okay. But that's perfectly fine. All right, so I'm going to send you out foraging. He's out just doing what he needs to do as far as harvesting goes, which is great. And then once he's done with that, maybe he can go out and go hunting. That would be fantastic. So I'm going to send him out hunting, and we can get us some meat for the family. So we love that. And he likes gardening. Okay, great. We love that he likes gardening. He is learning lots of new skills while being on this farm, which is fantastic. I'm absolutely loving the fact that he's getting so much skill while he's here. You know, he's learning how to tend to the animals. He's learning how to run a farm. He's learning how to garden. And he is really gaining a lot of opportunity here, which is fantastic. He is learning how to deal with the horse and teach it its temperament. And all of the things that Jonetta was starting to learn, he is now learning. And so he's learning a lot of opportunities that he can possibly take into their home if Xavier comes back from the war. And so we are loving that for Roger because he knows what a good gift this is for him. He realizes that if he stays here and he becomes the new heir, and his family takes on this legacy, obviously that is amazing for him because he's just got a huge bump in society. But you know, he thinks obviously that would be really tragic if something were to happen to Xavier, but that would be amazing for him, and so he's thrilled about that in one hand. On the other hand, he knows that's Diana's brother, and that would be a very painful loss for her. But then on the other hand, he thinks even if Xavier does come back home, he has gonna be able to have gained a ton of knowledge from doing this experience. So we absolutely love that for everyone. So she is out foraging, he is out hunting. The children have been sent off to daycare while they are out, which is fantastic news. We are just letting them go ahead and get done what needs to get done here so that we can continue on with our family. And we absolutely love that. They have both returned from daycare because, as you can see, we have arrived back at the house. We have some potatoes in our inventory now. I'm just going to look and see what we have here in the garden and if that's something we need to plant. So we have raspberries, carrots, basil, spinach, sage, blueberries, and onions. So we will go ahead and plant a potato here. I'll just get Diana to come and plant that. And this is more raspberries. And we have some acorns. So I'm going to go ahead and have her plant that, and then we will put the rest here in the fridge, which is going to be wonderful. The raspberries all can go in the fridge. And so she's going to go ahead and come and plant. We love that. And he is just still out doing the the hunting, which is fantastic news. He should be done with that very, very shortly. And once he's done with the hunting, we'll find out what kind of meat he's brought home and what we will have in our arsenal that maybe Diana will be able to cook for them. Because as we know, she is the cook, and so she will be able to cook them things. I'm just going to get her to go ahead and water everything. And then, oh my goodness, she needs to eat and use the washroom, and she is about to pass out. So we hate that for her. We really, really do. Oh no, she's not going to make it. Oh, the poor dear. She's just exhausted. All right, you have returned home. What did you get? All right, so he got 80 bluebells. We'll sell those. And he also got a hare and a chicken and a squirrel. So we're going to give those things to Diana so that she will have them to cook with. All right, honey, go on to the washroom. And we are officially in December of 1379 now, and we absolutely love that. So we are well into this episode and this year being over with. Why is she refusing to go to the washroom? I have no idea. Go to the washroom. There you go. Xavier's calling her from the war. Maybe we'll just say he sent her a letter, checking in on the farm. I think probably Xavier would be riding home from the war, and he would be wanting to check in, and he is sending a letter and just trying to find out what's going on. And I think that Diana would obviously have to write him back and let him know the news of his wife being departed from him, and the fact that, he also lost his son and his wife in childbirth. And so she's going to have to let him know that horrible, horrible news. We're also getting a notification now that Annegret Petechia has gone into labor, so we're going to go head over to see Annegret. All right, we have arrived here with Annegret. As you can see, she is in labor. She does not look very thrilled about it either. Look at her face. She's like, are you freaking kidding me? Oh my gosh. And she's not real happy. She's just not. But that being said, we are going to let her go ahead and have her baby. And it looks like she's playing a little bit of chess and getting her logic skill up. But it is time for her to have this little one. She has had a boy. So we are going to open up the wheel for baby names for boys, and we are going to go ahead and see what we're going to name this little one. So let's go ahead and give that a spin. And we are going to name this baby Clark. So this baby's name is going to be Clark Petechia. And it is a single birth.
Nubu. Yes.
So we have Clark Petechia. We are now going to go ahead and roll the dice and see what mom and baby are going to do as far as the childbirth and if they are going to survive. As we know, mom can't roll a 1. Mom rolls a 5 and survives. Baby rolls a 5 and survives, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and update the timeline, and then we'll age up baby, get a makeover, and the photo for the family tree. Okay, so this baby was born in December of 1379 and is of British-Danish descent and is a single birth. And so we will go ahead now and age up this baby and get the makeover and move on with getting the photo for the family tree. So let's go ahead and do that now. Where do you think you're going? You need to feed this baby and age up this baby.
Chelky Tibu. Yabo. Lenny Jorg.
Annegret has reached parenting level 1. We love that for her.
Oh.
And I'm so glad that Annegret survived the childbirth because, as we know, Leopold had already lost his last wife. So I'm glad we didn't lose another one to childbirth. That would have been awful. And Clark also is a Leo. And let's go ahead, once he ages up here, and hop into Cass. And we will give him his makeover and get his photo. All right, there is Clark Petechia, and we are going to hop back into the game now. We just have a couple more hours to spend with the family, and then we will be wrapping up this episode, and I will be then doing the banner and getting the banner ready for 1380. So let's go ahead and jump back into our main household. Okay, we have arrived back in the main household. I'm just going to check on Diana. Looks like she finally took care of her needs. She's feeling a little bit better, which is fantastic. We love that for her because she was kind of feeling in a bad way, but she seems to be doing a little bit better now, so we love that for her. I am just going to let everyone do what it is that they need to do to take care of themselves. It is currently 9:40 p.m. They are probably going to need to go ahead and take care of some of their needs here and then get themselves headed off to bed for the evening. And we will then be wrapping up this episode, and I will then be getting all of the family photos taken care of so that we can make the new banner for 1380. And in 1380 we have a lot going on, in the sense that we have some birthdays, and we'll have more children being born. We have a marriage that is going to be taking place, and we have a little bit of a tax that's going to be happening. So there are some interesting things that are going to be going on, but I am super excited about that. Oh, Deanna Arundel has gone into labor. Okay, let's go see Deanna Arundel. We're going to have us one more baby before we end this episode. We have arrived at the Arundel home with Deanna here. She is in labor. We are just going to go ahead and let her have her baby. So let's go ahead and let her do that. She is very pregnant here and is not quite sure how this is going to go. I believe this is their first little one. And so we are going to just go ahead and let them have their baby now. And they are having a boy. Oh, this is not their first baby. They had a baby first. They had a son that was stillborn. This is their second son. Hopefully this baby will survive. Let's go ahead and open up the wheel and see what we're going to name this boy. We are going to name this little one Emil. So Emil Arundel, and it is a single birth. So let's go ahead and roll for mom and baby and see if they're going to survive the childbirth. Mom can't roll a 1. She rolls a 6 and survives, and baby rolls a 20 and survives. Emil is going to make it. Let's go ahead and update our timeline, and then we will age up the little one and give him his makeover and get his photo for the family tree. baby is British-Irish descent and a single birth and born in December of 1379. And we will just put that Emil was born here when he was born on the timeline. And we're going to put when Emil is going to age up. All right, beautiful. And then let's go ahead and age up little Emil. We're going to go ahead and just give him a little bit of a feed here, and then mom can go ahead and age him up.
Oh, Lumine. Narshkol. Huh. Oh.
Okay, she can't give him a feed, so we're going to do a little bit of a cuddle. And then once she's done cuddling him, we'll have her go ahead and age him up. And then we will hop into Cass and do the makeover and the photo for the family tree. She is super happy that she finally had a little boy and that this little boy has survived. Alan's freaking out. We kind of expect that. That happens with all of our new dads. But we have Emil, who is also a Leo. He is a redheaded baby, just like his dad. So let's hop into Cass and get his makeover and his picture for the family tree. All right, there is our cautious little Emil, and he is super adorable. Let's go ahead and get his photo, and we're going to hop back into the game. So as you can see, Alan looks pretty proud of himself that he has himself a son here. He is loving the fact that he is a dad, and finally he has an heir to his name. He's really proud of himself. We absolutely love that. I think that, you know, he is thinking to himself, I have a son and someone that I have now passed on my name to. And we absolutely love that. Like, we really do. And so we are just going to have him come and just give a little bit of love to his little boy, Emil. And we're going to let him just love on him a little bit. But I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of our Ultimate Decades Challenge, where we are going to be in the year 1380. We are starting out a new decade, and it is going to be super exciting to see how our family has changed from 1370 to 1380 with our new banner. And I am super excited to see what 1380 brings us for our communities, for our families, how our growth happens, and what all is going to take place in the year 1380 with all of our different families. And I can't wait. But we are officially in 1380 now, so I am going to go ahead and leave this off here. And until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.